Hello and welcome to a bootleg bag of Fopp. We moved, and yeah, this is like awful lighting. Stuff still isn't even properly put away. If I was to reverse the camera, give you a proper look at this room, it's abysmal. So yeah, this is like the most cramped we've ever lived in one place. No microphone for the audio. You know, this is probably going to be what the channel is going to be like for the foreseeable future. We're really in a state of limbo at the minute, but things could be a lot worse. So try and look on the positives and not on the negatives. And I'm sure when I do a video and I tweak the lighting, get the microphone all set up and everything, and people watch the video, they're not like, oh, the lighting's very good in this video. Oh, I can hear his voice a little bit more crisper. No one's thinking that. You just want to hear what I want to say about a bunch of Blu-rays in videos like this where I'm talking about Blu-rays. So let's get to that, shall we? Before we left jolly old London, I thought I'd take one more trip to Fopp, and I was thinking that the last trip to Fopp would be the last one because you know, the HMV, kind of the shakiness going on there. But regardless, I went in for another quick look and picked up a few things. So let's get into them. The first one I'll talk about because it's the most notable release. I have four kind of, you know, the £6 Fopp titles. They have lots of films in there for £6, which are just really good value, really good films, and you know, there's nothing too remarkable about them in terms of what Blu-rays they are. But this one I was really surprised to see. This is from a label called Second Sight, and a cheap plug for my podcast with Man v Film, the Blu-ray Condition. I think the 4th episode is out now if you want to go check that out. Just search the Blu-ray Condition on your podcast searching app. And he talked about this in maybe the 1st or 2nd episode. He was selling this edition to me, and it's a great film. And it went out of print very quickly, but they had a few copies of it in Fopp, so I thought I'd pick it up because I think it's a fantastic film. It is Take Shelter. This is a brilliant film by Jeff Nichols, who has done another film that I really loved as well, but off the top of my head, did he do Midnight Special maybe? Because I'm thinking of the Michael Shannon connection. If he did, I love Midnight Special, but this film, on its own merit, is a phenomenal film about a father of a family who believes that a storm is going to come down on his village, and he wants to prepare his family in the event of a catastrophe, a disaster, and you know, no one really takes him that seriously. He becomes kind of the laughingstock of the town. If not laughingstock, but he's very much marginalized because of how militantly he is pursuing this obsession that a storm is going to hit his town and you know, hurt his family. So he wants to build one of these bunkers, you know, like dig up a hole in his yard, get a container bought and shipped, and prepare all supplies and everything like that. And even his wife is not very accommodating to it. It's been many years since I saw the film, so I might be getting some of the minor details not entirely correct there, but Jessica Chastain plays his wife, and yeah, he begins to have nightmares of an impending apocalyptic storm. He questions his sanity, but prepares for the worst by building a storm shelter. That's what it's called. And so yeah, he actually has these visions of this storm happening, and that kind of drives his obsession, I think. And so you got to question whether he's losing his mind or whether these visions actually have something behind them. But it's a phenomenal performance by Michael Shannon. Jessica Chastain is always great. This is a nice kind of hard box release with the case inside, a nice booklet. I like how the artwork kind of carries over. I don't like how, because of the Blu-ray case, the artwork matches really nicely. There's a little bit of a gap. So like there's the, I guess, the horizon line of like grass, and then it drops down, so it's not fully level with the booklet because they didn't account for this black strip of the Blu-ray case, which is a minor detail, but I think that they could have made it match even more perfectly. But I think it's a really cool effect all the same. It has a nice kind of, actually, I think it actually wraps around the whole. That's really cool, actually. So there's the horizon line there, and it wraps around here. Again, the camera's probably not picking up very well, but that, yeah, really, really nice. I haven't opened it up yet, but limited edition to 2,000 units, and something I really wish more companies would do, to license some of the stuff that's on YouTube. DP30 is a great YouTube channel that posts these lengthy interviews with filmmakers, actors, performers about films that they're doing, like, you know, just really in-depth stuff, not the kind of fluff pieces that you get on Blu-rays and DVDs. And so they've licensed that here. We have a DP30 interview with the director, Michael Shannon and Jessica Chastain. Q&A from 2011 with Jeff Nichols and Michael Shannon. A new interview with the director, so I guess that was actually made for this release. Interview the director at Cannes Film Festival, Toronto Film Festival interviews with all the main cast, behind the scenes, deleted scenes. They really, you know, packed this thing to the gills. I'm not sure if that stuff from DP30 was literally ripped from YouTube, and so the quality might not be very good. But regardless, I think that's great that they're just packing it all on there, because I'm sure that the standard studio release for this doesn't have that much in terms of special features. But yeah, so Take Shelter, Second Sight. Was really happy to pick this up, because when Graham told me about it, I was really interested, but it went out of print very quickly. But if you're in the Fopp kind of Covent Garden area, or can get to there, I would recommend running down there, because they had a few more copies left. And I'm assuming at the time I'll post this video, they'll be pretty close to when I actually went. And again, my channel is going to be all over the place, because there's stuff I filmed back in, you know, London where I lived. So it's going to be a complete mishmash of locations and things like that. So the four kind of standard titles that I picked up. The first one is a phenomenal film called Awakenings. And this actually seems like it was going to be a part of the Sony Collector's Edition series, because it has a similar effect with a white cover, gold title effect. But mainly it's this gold strip at the top, which is how you see all of the Collector's Edition. I haven't got one at hand to kind of show you, but they didn't go all the way with it for some reason. This is apparently a HMV exclusive. I didn't even know this had a UK Blu-ray release. I remember looking for it after I first saw it, and it was only available in like Germany and a couple of other European countries. So I'm glad this has got a, you know, a UK release. It seems like there's no special features, but it is about and again, this has been many years since I saw it, but from my memory, it's a true story, and Robert De Niro plays a guy who has this condition where he can't speak. He's disabled or impaired, I'm not sure what the correct term for it is, and Robin Williams plays a doctor who actually manages to help him begin to start talking. And it's this, you know, to awaken, you know, and it's a crazy true story. Really great performances. I love Robin Williams, and seeing him in serious stuff is always a great counterbalance to how hilarious he is in comedies. This is a great film. I'd highly recommend it if you haven't seen it. And then three films I haven't seen. The first one is the Oscar winner for Best Foreign Film, Best Actor, and Best Music. It is in the book, 1,001 Movies You Must See Before You Die, so of course I had to get it. And it is Life is Beautiful, an Italian film, I believe. And yes, definitely Italian film by looking at the cast and crew on the back. So I know nothing about the film, I'm not even going to look into it, I'm just going to dive into this one and check it out. But if you've seen it, please let me know your thoughts down below. This one, the guy who sold this to me was bigging up the director and saying I should check out his other films, but I know I'm not going to love it, because it's apparently a very brutal film, and I'm not a fan of that too much. It's not my kind of thing, but I love the main actor, Kurt Russell, and it is Bone Tomahawk, and I've heard very good things from people who I know, but again, I know their tastes don't completely align with mine when it comes to movies like this. So it is a western, a bloody revenge tale. Has a really good cast actually. Patrick Wilson, who I love, Richard Jenkins, who's great in pretty much fucking everything he does, and Kurt Russell, one of my favorite all-time actors. So I'm going to check this one out. I like the black case as well. That kind of sold me just a little bit. But regardless, I wanted to get to this ever since it came out. £6 is a good price point for a film like that. And finally, a film that I noted down this film on my phone in my notes app of films I should see when I moved to Norway. Because I was about to move to Norway in 2012 or 2013, and you know, I had a lot of free time ahead of me, you know, assuming that I wasn't going to get a job, a full-time job, which I eventually never did. I had to make do with part-time work, which worked out in the end, but I knew that to start with at least, wasn't expecting it to be that long, I wouldn't be having full-time work. And so I said, find some movies that I really want to check out, and for some reason this one had popped up somewhere, and I thought, I want to see that, just the title. And the image I saw of it really intrigues me. So I noted it down and never watched it. So I saw this in Fopp on DVD and I thought, ooh, I'd really like to see that. Do they have the Blu-ray? They didn't have it, because I looked in like the main section under A, which is the letter that the film starts with. I was like, oh, that's really disappointing. I don't want to get the Blu-ray for a film like this that is probably going to be quite visually nice. And then I was walking around and noticed they had a science fiction section. I thought, ah, they might have it here, and they did. There was one copy, I grabbed it. It is Another Earth. And I've heard a few people, not even heard a few people, I've seen a few people who I know online kind of maybe watch it on Letterboxd and give it like, you know, like an okay rating, or say that it's really good. I think in Brian Lomax's Cine Sci-Fi Facebook group someone talked about this recently. And I love this actress, Britt Marling. Is that her name? Let me just double check that it is. Yeah. Oh, she actually co-wrote the film as well. I've only ever seen her in one thing, and it's the Netflix series The OA, which just came out with the second series, and I really want to watch it, but I want to rewatch the first series again. Incredible series, and she is so good in that show. And so that, again, kind of made me want to see this even more. Science fiction film, obviously, apparently about another Earth. And I don't want to know too much more than that. So yeah, I hope it's good, at least like a decent film. So there we go. That's the 5 Blu-rays. I say bootleg Fopp bag because it was very much running in, grabbing a few things, and right now just setting up the camera very quickly and tilting a light down. But yeah, that's probably how, again, the channel is going to go for a while. But there we go. 5 Blu-rays. And God knows I don't have the space for them anymore. I really can't wait till we find our new place so I can fully set up the collection, because it's all over the place right now. There's bits in storage, there's bits in bags in other places. It's kind of, it's my Blu-ray collection right now are like the Infinity Stones. They're scattered across the country, and so, you know, I look forward to kind of gathering them all together again. And having my Blu-ray collection end game, where I can finally display everything. So that would be really cool. Like behind me here, I've just put all random stuff. It's completely out of order behind me. It was just to put kind of stuff on the shelf to make more space, which hasn't really provided me with that much more space either. Anyway, enough rambling. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you with the next one whenever that will be.
It's alright by me. Apart from the fact he throws cans of calling into a tree. Yeah, he's really cool. Yeah, he's really cool. But he's not quite as cool as you.